Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Should someone who commits a crime be allowed to carry on with their life? I ask because we have a curious case here involving a footballer who committed a certain offence, a very serious offence, and has now gone to try to move halfway around the world in an attempt to lead a normal life. Unfortunately, the club that he was about to sign for just found out just prior to him signing what he'd done and have effectively ripped up the contract. The footballer, of course, is David Goodwillie, a most inaccurate name, I suspect, because his crime was the R of a woman. He wasn't found guilty, though, in a criminal court, but he was found guilty at a civil court. So although he didn't do time, he was forced to pay for his crime in terms of cash, which I always think is a slightly odd thing, paying the victim money after you've done what you've done. It kind of turns her into, can't say the word too early, but, a lady of the night, a professional, if you like, because you're paying her for what you've had from her. I think it's a bit dodgy, but, it's what it seems to be the world we're in. No view on her. I'm not impugning her. I'm just saying it's odd that that's the way the law looks at it. But yeah, the question I was going to get to, though, is the moral question. Should we allow anyone to be forgiven after a crime? And I suspect it really rather depends on the crime. But let me know in the comments. We'll go through this piece, but let me know in the comments what your views are on this. I'm genuinely interested to know. I'll sort of take a straw poll on what people think. But I think it'll be most interesting. Anyway, we'll cut straight in here, see what's going on, and see why David Goodwillie is not having a good day. Or even, since it was Australia, a good day. Here goes. So, criminal footballer David Goodwillie has Australian contract ripped up just hours after signing is announced. Sorrento FC announced the move on social media, describing him as a player of real quality and experience, before swiftly deleting the message following criticism. Real quality, eh? Quality. And certainly experience, but not the sort I think that you're looking at. Anyway, former Scotland striker David Goodwillie has had his contract with the Australian side cancelled just hours after the signing was announced. He may well be due compensation for that. Which would be, technically legal. I mean, you've got to say, if he's signing, they do it, and they're the ones ripping it up. If they've failed to do due diligence, it's going to be down to them. They could end up having to pay. Anyway, Sorrento FC revealed the move on social media, describing him as a player of real quality and experience before swiftly deleting the message following criticism. Goodwillie was ruled to be an ARA of women in a civil case in 2017. 6 years after being initially charged. No criminal proceedings were instructed against Goodwillie, but he was ordered to pay £100,000 in damages by a judge after it was ruled he did this to a woman in a flat in West Lothian in 2011. So, it's 12 years ago. Are you kind of thinking you need to move on? I don't know not the statute of limitations. What is the thing when you've committed a crime? You have to, if anyone asks, you have to say, but then there's a period of time where you don't have to announce it anymore. Spent convictions. I don't know what the period of spent convictions for that is. Or even if it even comes under, because it was a civil case, not a criminal case. So maybe it doesn't apply. I don't know. Perhaps, if there's any lawyers out there, solicitors out there, we're not American, if there's any solicitors out there, do please let me know on that one, about the spent convictions for a civil case. Very interesting. Anyway, in a statement, the club said Sorrento Football Club has rescinded its contract with David Goodwillie. David was scheduled to arrive in Perth within the next week to commence playing for the club with the remainder of the 2023 NPLM season. The arrangement was non-commercial in nature. The club has informed David of its decision and apologises to anyone in our football and broader community that may have been caused offence by his signing. Well, I think the ladies may have been offended. Why would you give this guy a chance after what he's done? And certainly the victim in the case would certainly be offended that anyone in football would re-sign him. I'm not saying he shouldn't have a job or a life or anything like that, but not in a high-profile, high-reward sport like football. He can go and work, on a building site or in a warehouse or something else, something more befitting for someone like him. In September last year, Goodwillie left Roath Ravers 8 months after initially signing and having not made a single appearance for the Kirkcaldy club. It was after ferocious backlash from club sponsor Val McDermid, fans, the R Crisis Scotland and former First Minister Nibby. His arrival at Starks Park also prompted a raft of resignations among board members and club volunteers, while the club's women's side opted to rebrand under a different name. While his loan move to Clyde last year was also terminated after widespread backlash. He basically cannot get a game because of what he's done. He needs to give it up. Goodwillie has 3 Scotland caps and has also played for the likes of Blackburn in the Premier League. That must be some time ago. Crystal Palace, Aberdeen and Dundee United. Well, I think his playing career is done. Given the fact that he can't even go to Australia to play, and that's as far away as you can possibly get. If you go any further, you're coming home, So, he's really got nothing, has he? He's got no chance of playing professional football ever again. I'm surprised he was allowed to keep his professional football registration. Normally, bringing the game into disrepute and that, you might have lost it. But hey, I'm not the one that makes those rules. Anyway, I think he's done, and that's fair enough. If you're gonna do these things, you're gonna do these awful things, you've got to expect, the punishment, and the punishment isn't exactly what you were expecting, I think. But hey ho, it is what it is, and he is getting what he deserves. My opinion. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this. I'm going to come up. We'll finish off this video, do let me know what you think about this, because I bet there's people out there that think, well, he's paid his price. He's paid, it's hard, isn't it? Anyway, coming up. I think my personal view is it very much depends on the crime. Unless it been something like he'd punched someone in a pub. Yeah, okay, you do your time. You pay whatever it is. You move on. But when you've done this and you've been convicted for a crime such as that, I think there is no moving on. And I think the FA initially should have removed his licence to play. They should have banned him from football for life. They've done it to others for less, and so to have allowed him to play, I think it's a bad reflection on the FA, and that's as simple as that. And he should never have gone. But it seems every team he goes to suddenly realises what they've done, and seem to drop him like a hot potato. So why not take that off the table and just ban him from football, and then that's it. He can go and utilise his other skills and talents, can't he? Anyway, to round off there, thank you very much for listening. If you like what you've seen here on the channel, do please leave a like, leave a comment. Definitely leave that comment on this one. Share the video, and until next time, stay safe, stay well, don't play football with people like that, and goodbye.